So today I'm going to talk about my four favorite grip exercises for jiu-jitsu. So you have a really strong grip, but you also have a grip that doesn't burn out very easily, that can last the whole round and can last round after round. So I feel like before we get into the exercises that I'm going to talk about, I think it's important to talk about technical skills. Which when it comes to, hey, we're going to do this thing in the gym so it will improve this quality on the mats, it's always really important to talk about how technique is king, and we need to be able to have good technique and focus on our game. And this to me, this should be obvious. It's like saying do this exercise as a football player. Obviously, you have to get good at football, but sometimes with jujitsu, guys, they get kind of weird about this. So a few things I want to mention, and this probably really applies to like if you're just starting the journey. Um, these exercises probably won't help you that much if you're gripping your grips as hard as you can, like, or you going um or you're getting just super tense through the whole body. Your forearm is going to burn out, your grip's going to burn out, your fingers are going to kill. Um, so it's really important that you have to really work on your technique. You don't need most of the time. You don't need to grip for a day of life if you just keep a decent amount of tension, say like 50% tension, and like you'll be good. You can keep that. You can keep that grip for a while. Second thing I want to talk about is make sure that there are sometimes guys have grips on you that you don't need to break. If that's not affecting the technique that you need to do next, you can move around them. Number three, especially with gi, when we're talking about grips, just realize, and this is going to save a ton of energy. Sometimes when someone has your, especially with the sleeve, someone has your sleeve like this, just remember, if they have your sleeve, you have their sleeve. All you have to do is circle the hand around and then grab their sleeve. And although they still have you, you still have them. So if I'm passing and they have arm control and they're kind of pulling my arm, I can circle, grab, do my pull, and now I can start working my technique. So a little tidbit with that. So the number one exercise is going to be a deadlift. If it's like a trapper deadlift, um, regular deadlift, sumo deadlift, or even some of these accessory works for hip hinge variations, such as single leg RDLs, staggered RDLs, barbell RDLs. Training your hamstrings while holding something heavy in your hand is going to build a lot of the grip muscles that you're looking to improve. Now, some people might say like, how about if I use straps? Because then I'm not going to be working my grip so much. What I would do with this is I would progress and go as heavy as you can until you need the straps. So say you're doing like deadlifts, like 5 sets of 5. You probably don't need straps for at least the first 2 sets. So only use straps when you do the last set. And I don't use straps very much, but I'll go over under grip. But I only do that grip when I have to. So I usually have to do that grip around high 200s, 300 pounds. But all the other ones, I'm just doing double overhand grip. And that's going to, over time, that's going to build a really strong grip. Exercise number two is heavy row variations, or you can go pull-up variations. It's really important to have a ton of rowing. I think jiu-jitsu is a lot of back because when you think about it, you need to maintain good posture when you're trying to do a lot of things and your opponent's trying to break your posture. And when you train your back, having a strong posture, which is kind of like a strong back, is going to be a huge benefit. Plus, you have to hold something. It's not like dumbbell presses where you're like pressing it and you're not, and it's not going to fall if your grip is weak. You have to hold something. So when you row, don't just hold it, but you want to be almost crushing it. Crush it really tight. And you know how I said when we're grabbing the gi or lapel, we don't want to hold it as tight as we can. When you're doing rows, if you're doing like a one row for like 3 sets of 8, grab that shit as hard as you can, almost like a crush grip, and row. Not only this is going to build high levels of strength and muscle, it's going to really bring a grip building thing into it. Some of my favorite variations for one for rowing variations would probably be a one-arm row, especially like kettlebells because they have like a thicker handle. Um, I like bench rows. I like lat pull downs. I especially like as someone who's getting a little older, my shoulders are a little beat up. I like neutral grips with a lot of stuff. So neutral grip pull downs. Those are some of my favorite variations of rowing. But you can also do chin up variations, pull up variations. All those things are going to be great. The third thing I would say is we're gonna do some loaded carries, so some farmers walks here. And so if you're using dumbbells, kettlebells, trap bar, it doesn't matter. What I'd probably do is maybe do a few weeks where you're going like heavy, but shorter time and distance. So maybe you're just going like nice and heavy, but you're only doing it for like 20 or 30 seconds. You're doing sets like that. And then have a different phase where you're going to do longer. So now you're going to be doing loaded carries for like maybe 60 seconds, even up to 2 minutes. That's just going to build a wide spectrum of muscular endurance for that grip strength for your forearms. And the last one, it's kind of like a group exercises. I would have you do some biceps and triceps at the end of the workout. It doesn't have to be much. One exercise per movement, 1 to 2 sets here. And the reason for this is simple. Like all the muscles around your grip is like is basically the same muscles that are going to work your arm. So biceps, bicep curls, hammer curls, tricep pushdowns, lying tricep extensions, skull crushes. As long as they're not causing joint pain, I would do them. And it's going to just enhance better grip strength, better grip endurance, and a little benefit of that. When you build these muscles up, you're going to protect your elbow joint. And your elbow joint is something that we talk about that, a lot of people know, like your elbows kind of get beat up with jiu-jitsu, because there's so much grip stuff involved. If your arm's getting cranked a little further back, it can be a real tough thing. So by doing a little extra arm work, again, nothing crazy, like one or two exercises, like 1 or 2 sets at the end of the workout is all you really need. And this goes along with something like I say this all the time in content and videos I make. If we can build more strength and muscles around the most vulnerable areas, so thinking in jiu-jitsu, what's our most vulnerable areas? Neck. So can we build a really strong back and shoulders around the neck? Think about elbows. Can I build my biceps, triceps, and forearms? For my lower back, can I build my glutes, my hamstrings, my core? All right, for my knees, can I get really strong quads, hamstrings, and calves? If I can do those things, injuries tend not to happen as much. Okay, so those are my 4 favorite ways to improve your grip strength. Don't forget to improve your technical ability along with your strength and conditioning.